Welcome to the Trend Talk, and thank you for joining us today. We're going to go to visit one of the most colorful neighborhoods in Los Angeles, the community in which I grew up in, and also that I love to this day, Boyle Heights.
We're going to take a trip to this neighborhood just east of downtown LA to visit a theatrical oasis, Casa 0101, founded by longtime resident and a true pioneer in bringing art back into her community, playwright, producer, and all-around visionary, Josefina Lopez.
I admire the heck out of Josefina, and I was so happy to learn how this theater was founded.
And later, we'll be trend talking with our special guest, Gabriela Fresquez. She's an actress, and now she's the host of a new English language show on Telemundo's Radar 2021.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Trend Talk. This holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadale.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at limonadale to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today on the Trend Talk, we visit Casa 0101 in Boyle Heights, which is just 2 miles east of downtown LA. The theater specifically serves this community of mostly Mexican Americans who are sharing their stories with the world. The founder of Casa 0101, Josefina Lopez, grew up in this neighborhood. She's an accomplished playwright and screenwriter. Her script, Real Women Have Curves, was the film that gave actor America Ferrera her big Hollywood break. Josefina Lopez's dream of creating an arts district in Boyle Heights became a reality in the year 2000 when she opened the doors to Casa 0101.
The 60-seat theater's first location was a converted bridal shop. For 11 years, award-winning theater productions were brought to the community from this location.
In 2011, with the help of community members and civic leaders, a fully equipped 99-seat state-of-the-art theater was opened. And now, Casa provides multiple programs and offers training for future writers, actors, dancers, filmmakers, and visual artists.
Casa 0101 also houses the Jean Deliage Art Gallery, named after co-founder Emmanuel Deliage's father, who left in his will that a portion should go to non-profit organizations. His 4 children decided that the biggest portion should go to Casa 0101.
Casa's stage productions by new playwrights and audience favorites include Chicanas, Cholas y Chisme, Brown and Out, Frida, Stroke of Passion, as well as Broadway shows like Beauty and the Beast, In the Heights, and Aladdin.
There have been several award-winning plays produced at Casa, and one of them is 8 Ways to Say I Love My Life, which was honored with an Imagen Award. And Bel, you were one of the writers.
Yes, I was so lucky. I was with 7 other fantastic writers, and it's been one of the highlights of my life to see my story presented on this stage.
Chicano power! Chicano power! Chicanos, or U.S. Latinos, are not Mexican. Mexicans turned on their TVs and saw doctors, presidents, lawyers who looked and spoke like them. So where did I belong? And then it hit me. As a Chicana, I created my own reality. On the stage.
Arriba! And you know what?
Casa O101 also has some wonderful presentations. They are so important and timely. Most recently, they presented Uncovering the Hidden History of Mexican and Black Solidarity, hosted by Cal State professor Ron Wilkins. With a look to the future, Casa O101 offers year-round classes in acting and writing for youth and adults. And workshops in improv, filmmaking, puppetry, and dance. And all classes are free for youth.
And now, we'd like to share a short history of Boyle Heights, as remembered by a very special resident who will always be dear to the community's heart, the late Coach L. Padilla.
I first came to California from Tucson, Arizona in 1939. I was only a 9-year-old boy, and I started at First Street Elementary School in the 4th grade. So I've lived here in Boyle Heights from 1939 to 1950. And in 1954 to 1960, I came back to the old neighborhood, and I taught 6 years at Roosevelt High School. And my team was full of little Japanese guys. Boyle Heights, I refer to it as the Ellis Island of Los Angeles. You know, Ellis Island is right by the Statue of Liberty, and that's where people, for years when they first came to this country, would go to Ellis Island and get their papers and be admitted into the country. That's why I say it's a place for newcomers. That's what Boyle Heights has always been. The different groups that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to start with the Russians, okay? That's the first time I saw so many blonde people when they came, the Russians there when I was there at Roosevelt. And I don't know if you know any of the history, but the Russians, after the revolution, they came to Mexico. Then they moved up to Los Angeles, and where do they come? Boyle Heights, right? Now, one of the saddest times, though, that I experienced in Boyle Heights was when all my Japanese friends were taken away in 1942 after World War II started. They were taken to the internment camps, right? It was really a sad day for Roosevelt High School because about 1/3 of the population had to go. Now, the amazing thing was when the war ended, so many of them came back to Boyle Heights. And some of these guys that were my friends that I last saw them in elementary school at First Street. Now I get reunited with them at Roosevelt High School. We had just a few blacks. When I was going to school in 48, I graduated in winter 48, we only had about 2 or 3 families, black families. And they had a little neighborhood close to Evergreen Cemetery, just about a couple of blocks off of west of Evergreen Cemetery, is where they lived. But after World War II, when the government came in and made these housing projects, the blacks came back. Now, the opposite of that, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but this is just the way it happened. There was a small contingent of where Angles lived, white Angles, and that was also a project. It was called Wyvernwood, and it was like a gated community. And in those days, when I was going to school in 48, it lasted up to about 50. Only Angles, only whites could live there. We didn't have prejudice amongst ourselves, all these groups that we met, including the Armenians and Italians and so on, and all the Mexicans that came in afterwards, you know. And now, people asked me the other day when I was kind of talking about this, Al, he says, why did this happen? Why did all these people, because it's now, Boyle Heights, you know, is 98% or almost 100% Mexican, right? Why did this happen? How did this happen that, you know, all these people went other places? Well, do you ever think about what the freeways did? 3 freeways. The 5, the 10, and the 60 came in and just butchered up Boyle Heights. That was a major factor in people moving out. Then the people that moved in, you know, now, once again, newcomers. And who are the newcomers? They're not just Mexico, but Central America and South America, right? We have a tremendous population now in East LA, in Boyle Heights, from down there. But I think what they're finding, and the last idea I want to leave you with is that what a friendly neighborhood we had, and we still have. And I think those people that are coming here now are finding that, right? And they're leaving their marks too, right? You can walk down the street and see all the Mexican stores or stores that have selling Mexican things. It's just a wonderful thing that all of this has progressed and changed, you know. So anyhow, I just want to close and tell you that it's been a wonderful experience for me. I'll leave you with a thought that we have a nice, friendly neighborhood. Thank you very much for listening to me.
We invite you to Boyle Heights to experience culture, art, theater, and community at Casa 0101.
And don't go away, because we'll be right back with our Trend Talk special guest. This holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadale.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at LimonadaLA to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Our next guest brings the science from the future, and it's looking good. Radar 2021 is the perfect platform for smart, witty, bicultural bilinguals. We want to welcome its host, Gabriela Fresquez.
I'm Gabriela Fresquez, and this is Radar 2020.
Gabby, it's great to meet you.
Hi, likewise. I'm excited to be here.
And we are excited for you because you just got an Imagen Award nomination.
Yes, we did. We got 2 nominations, and we're so excited.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, you primarily are an actress and you're also a host, but you took a leap of faith in 2020 and decided to put hosting up front and center. Tell us about it.
Yes, yeah, that's a pretty accurate description, actually. So I did go to school for journalism originally, so I do have a background in writing and journalism, but I decided to pursue acting full force after college and then sort of bounced back and forth. I kind of couldn't stay away from the journalism world. And at the end of the day, they're both a form of storytelling that I really enjoy. So whether it's scripted, working as an actor on a TV series, or writing my own content and hosting a show and talking about social issues or current events, there are so many more similarities between the two types of storytelling than I originally thought. Like they have so much more to do with each other than I ever would have thought.
I love the concept of the show, and it's in English on Telemundo, a show catering to the largest sector of Latinos in the U.S.
Latinxes account for over half of America's population growth. Like reggaeton in South Florida, we're everywhere, and usually too loud.
I love that episode about Latino and Latino history and how it's put in books. It could be the same publisher, but in one area of the country, it says one thing, and in the other area of the country, it says another thing.
In today's American public school system, where you live has a lot to do with what historical narrative you're taught. And that's not by accident. In 2020, the New York Times analyzed textbooks in both California and Texas with the same publishers and authors and found that the books were customized to reflect political divisions, which explains why Americans still debate whether the primary cause of the Civil War was states' rights or slavery, and why I'll be homeschooling all of my future children.
Tell us about how that all comes together. I'm sure you're a big part of that because of your journalism background. Am I correct?
Yes, definitely. We're a very small team, so we all kind of have our hands in a little bit of everything. So in addition to being the host of the show, I pitch ideas. A lot of the episodes that you see are ideas that I had even before Radar started, and now I have a platform to really talk about these things. And there is such a specific audience out there, bicultural, bilingual Latinos in the United States who are hungry for content like this. So it's really exciting to be able to create something that is English language with a network like Telemundo, something that's never been done before. So I kind of feel like a bit of a pioneer in creating this type of content. And we kind of jokingly have this tagline that Radar is not your abuela's new show, because we are constantly confronting taboo subjects in our community, whether we're talking about machismo or marianismo, or whether we're talking about mental health in our community, something that that just doesn't get covered enough, or at least doesn't get covered in the way that we Latinos experience and talk about it on a very kind of like nuanced cultural level. So it's very exciting to have a role in creating a space to have these conversations.
In a lot of Latinx families, there's shame or even trauma around the topic, which only further discourages conversation. And if you grew up in a Catholic family like I did, your takeaway might have been that sex is solamente para making babies y nada más, and that premarital sex would result in your eternal damnation.
It's great that you are creating content, and as you say, you're bringing up ideas. Of course, that's what we do on the Trend Talk as well. But who are some of the other people on your team?
So our executive producer is Grace Gonzalez. She is a 200%er from Nicaragua and the United States, super smart. Radar was originally her vision, so she brought me in to be a part of this project, and it's been really a joy to work with her and share this sort of creative vision that we have for ourselves and for our audience. And then we also have our senior producer who helps research, and she really make me look good. Does a lot of our research and helps me with this creating and crafting the episodes and the scripts. And that's Grace Solorenzano. And then we have a graphic designer, producer. So we're a very small team. There's basically 3 head producers. There's me, and then we generally have 1 intern, and then Mati Gonzalez, who does all of our social media. So so when I say it's a small team, it's like tiny, but it's a joy working with them, and we all, I think, have a lot invested in telling these stories and talking about these issues. So it's been a great experience so far.
Tell us about some of your favorite shows. We just mentioned 2, but what are some of your favorite shows that you love and want to tell people about?
We have one coming up, and it's all about spirituality. And it really hones in on how a lot of Latinos are leaving the Catholic Church. And whether they're going to different religions or just becoming unaffiliated, we're focusing on the sector of Latinos that are reclaiming a lot of ancestral spiritual practices and religions. So this is something that I have wanted to dive into for a while, because I find it so fascinating how the practice of brujeria has really kind of become almost a trend lately. If you go online, even if you go on TikTok, there's 5 billion hashtags there's this thing called witch talk on TikTok. There's a thing called witch talk on TikTok.
Say it 3 times.
Exactly. And there's something like 5 billion hashtags out there of it right now, because a lot of these Latinos who are generating content around the subject of brujeria and these ancestral spiritual practices are putting a lot of this content online and really finding spaces and circles of people who share in that desire to really tap into their indigenous ancestry. So it's just something that I found really fascinating personally.
Despite being maligned by Catholic colonizers for centuries, several indigenous spiritual practices, including brujeria, or witchcraft in English, are experiencing a renaissance among Latinx millennials. A stark contrast from my youth, when my parents thought playing the Ouija board was a gateway to devil worship. If only they'd known about my middle school seances.
I think the key to any of our episodes is really going in with a genuine curiosity, that you have. So that's how I approach every episode. If it's something that excites me, if it's something that I'm very curious about, I know we're gonna find a way to make it work, whether that's talking about financial literacy, whether it's talking politics, or whether it's talking about Santeria and the history of Haitian voodoo. So
it's like the Latino perspective on everything from A to Z. For instance, right now, Latinos, we're just so proud to talk about all of our customs and like the brujerias. They've taken brujas to a highest level. I mean, it's the word chingona. I mean, that is another thing that we're proud of, and we're turning that word into its head, and we're making it a popular word among mainstream America. And that's why I love your show, because it focuses in a lot of that, a lot of those interesting facts, and it shows the cultures like this is who we are. And we're just like you. You have beliefs that, you know, maybe are in your culture. We do too. So it's just a beautiful show. I love that about the show. And I love that it's in English because, as I said, you know, a larger portion of Latinos in the US are bilingual, bicultural, as you said before. So congratulations on the show. It's a beautiful show.
And also, it's wonderful that, I mean, you have a great sense of humor, and it's so nice to have a refreshing view on all these things. Your show kind of reminds me of Lily Singh. It's really great. You have a lot of energy. You're funny. You know, Latinos are funny too. I think that's a great point, and it's great that you're on this platform.
I credit my recovery to the support of my loving family. And
my fellow Americans, the time has come for America's first drag queen president.
Numerous seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race binged in the safety of my home. Because when real life drama is too much to handle, nothing beats burying yourself in someone else's.
I'm happy that we can have a place where we can talk about serious issues, but we can also have fun. We can be a little irreverent, we can be a little sassy, and not make everything so heavy when it revolves around coverage of the Latino community, because so much of the coverage we see, as you know, can skew pretty negative. And the reality is that there's so much more going on with us than just the topic of immigration, which is something very important, and that will no doubt continue to be covered extensively, but there's more to us than that.
Oh my God, Latinos created La Pachanga, of course. We're fun.
So Gabriela, tell us, how do we get to see your show? Where can we stream it? And it's on now, right?
Yes, so we are on now on YouTube every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And you can follow us on Instagram at Radar Telemundo and on Twitter at Radar Telemundo.
We will be watching. We will be watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Gabby. And don't forget to check out Radar 2021. And don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the Trend Talk.
This holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadale.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at LimonadaLA to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Our Trend Talk Trendsetter shout out goes out to our favorite community theater, Casa 101. It's a nonprofit, and it is dedicated to nurturing the future storytellers of America. They also offer acting and screenwriting classes, so visit them at casa101.org.
Many thanks to our guests and to you for joining us today on The Trend Talk. Remember to tune in on Sunday on LA Local Me TV station for our new episodes. Or to see some of our past episodes, please go to our YouTube channel and catch us on Facebook Watch. And remember, if it's trending, we're talking.
Llenos de algarabía.
Ya llegó el carnaval, mucha gente nos visita.
Desde lejos y contentos van llegando los turistas.
Con el agua no juguemos, demostremos la cultura.
Con mi gente.
This holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadale.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Limonada LA to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid. But there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.